Okay, let's get into it today. We're doing a deep dive on, well, what's probably the most fundamental Buddhist practice there is.
Hmm.
The one that's really the starting point for, for anyone on this path. We're talking about Dāna, generosity.
Yeah, and it's so important we start there because a lot of people jump straight to meditation or, heavy philosophy.
Right.
But the sources, they're really clear. Dāna comes first. It's actually the first of the 10 perfections, the paramitas. It's not just about charity. It's a practice meant to prepare the mind for everything else that follows.
I think that's the biggest hurdle, isn't it? That translation. We say giving, and you just picture, I don't know, putting some change in a donation box.
Exactly.
But the real meaning is something more like willing relinquishment. And that phrase, that just changes the whole game because it makes it internal.
It's all internal. At its core, Dāna is a psychological strategy. It's a direct countermove against the very root of our suffering, that constant craving, that grasping and attachment we have to, well, to everything.
So you're actively training your mind to just let go.
You are, and to see how it works, you have to look at the structure. It's not just one single thing.
It's broken down into different categories,
Right.
right? Covering like all aspects of life.
That's right. The traditional texts usually lay out 3 main categories, and they kind of build on each other. It moves from the very physical to the purely spiritual.
Okay, so let's start with category 1. This is the one everyone knows. Material giving, amisa dana.
The most visible form, yeah.
This is giving tangible things. Historically, it's the 4 requisites, right? Food, clothing, shelter, medicine. And it's mainly aimed at making sure people can survive, especially the monastic community, the sangha.
And that material support is absolutely necessary. It creates the conditions for people who have dedicated their whole lives to the path. But it also gives the giver you this direct experience of letting go of your attachment to, your money and your stuff.
Okay, so that's the base level.
Yeah.
But the second category, this is where it starts to get really profound. Giving of the Dhamma, the truth.
This is where the real weight of the practice is.
So we're talking about sharing the teachings, giving someone spiritual advice, helping them understand how to live a more ethical life.
Yes. And the texts are pretty unanimous on this. This is considered the highest form of giving.
Why is that? I mean, why is it higher than, say, saving someone's life with medicine?
Because material giving provides temporary relief.
Yeah.
You give someone food, they're not hungry today. But when you give the Dhamma, you're giving them the tools to end their suffering permanently. That's a gift that goes beyond just one lifetime.
That makes perfect sense. The longer the benefit, the higher the value. And that brings us to the third one, which is really interesting. Giving of fearlessness, Dāna.
This one is so practical. It's basically the act of nonviolence, offering safety, security, protection.
So it's not just about, like, physically protecting someone from harm.
Not at all. It's about radiating goodwill. It's about actively cultivating a mind that doesn't want to harm any living thing. So you yourself become a source of safety for everyone around you.
Okay, that's a perfect transition, because that form of giving is all about your state of mind. So let's dig into those spiritual mechanics. You said Dāna is a counteragent. Specifically, it attacks lobha, greed, or attachment.
Yes, one of the 3 root poisons.
But why is giving so uniquely good at that? Why not just use wisdom from meditation to see that greed is bad?
That's a great question. Because lobha is. It's sticky, it's a habit. Wisdom can tell you it's bad, but Dāna tackles it through action. It forces you to break the cycle of getting and keeping.
Okay.
Every single time you willingly let go of something, you are physically and mentally weakening that deep-seated instinct that screams, "This is mine, I need this."
So it's not a theory, it's actual practical surgery on the ego. Because our minds just cling. My money, my reputation, my ideas. And that clinging is what creates so much fear.
Exactly. And the act of willingly giving something up, even if it's just your time or your full attention, that is the practice of non-clinging in real time.
And doing that creates something positive, right? This is where the idea of merit or punya comes in.
It is. But this concept gets so misunderstood. People think it's like, spiritual bookkeeping.
Right, like you're racking up points for a better rebirth. So if it's not that, what is punya actually doing?
Merit isn't some reward from an outside force. Punya is the wholesome quality of the action itself. It purifies your own mind. When you act out of genuine generosity, you create a moment of goodness. And that wholesome energy conditions your mind for future happiness.
So you're laying down better tracks for your own mind to run on in the future.
Precisely. You've neutralized greed and selfishness in that moment, and that has a ripple effect.
This is where intention becomes so important, isn't it? The sources are really specific about the timing of the intention.
Yes, incredibly specific. It's not just the act. The real fruit of the gift depends on your mind state at 3 points: before you give, while you're giving, and after you've given.
Wow, okay.
If you're happy about the idea, joyful in the act, and feel content afterward with no regret, the punya is maximized. But if you give, say, reluctantly, or feel a pang of regret later,
You've contaminated the act.
you've reduced the benefit. The whole practice is really about liberating your mind.
So a moment of pure, true generosity is a moment where you're totally free from selfish thinking.
And that feeling of freedom, of joy, it reinforces itself. It makes you want to do it again.
It creates a virtuous cycle.
Exactly.
Mm.
A self-perpetuating engine for becoming a better person.
Okay, let's shift from the individual to the community. Because Dāna isn't just a personal practice. It's actually the glue that holds the entire Buddhist community, the Sangha, together.
It is the absolute core of the relationship between the lay followers and the monastics. It creates this symbiotic system.
A system of mutual support.
Yes. The lay community practices Dāna by giving the monastics the 4 requisites we mentioned: food, shelter, and so on. This frees the monks and nuns from having to work a normal job. It gives them the space to dedicate their entire lives to studying, practicing, and preserving the teachings.
So the lay people provide the material support. What's the gift that flows back the other way? It's more than just a formal teaching now and then, I assume.
Oh, much more. The monastics offer really 3 key things. First, yes, the Dhamma teachings. Second, they're there for spiritual guidance and counseling. But third, and this is so important, they serve as a living example.
A role model.
A living, breathing example of the Noble Eightfold Path in action. They become what's called a field of merit. By supporting them, a layperson is investing in the highest spiritual ideal. They're connecting themselves to that aspiration.
I see. So the layperson isn't just getting merit from their own act of giving, they're getting even more merit because the recipient is so worthy.
Exactly. The sources say the merit from supporting those who are truly living the path is immeasurable. And this interdependence is what has allowed the teachings to survive for 2,600 years.
Okay, so we've covered the big picture. Let's bring this right back down to earth, to someone's daily life. We've talked about supporting monks, but most people aren't doing that every day. How does this work in, a normal modern life?
It's all about recognizing the 1,000 tiny opportunities for relinquishment that we have every single day. Generosity is an internal discipline, first and foremost.
Give us some of those micro-level examples, things that aren't about money.
Okay, well, think about your most limited resource, your time and attention. Giving someone your focused, undivided attention when they need to talk, that is a profound act of Dāna.
Listening, just truly listening.
Yes, or offering a genuine smile to a stranger. Or, here's a big one, practicing patience instead of reacting with anger. In that moment, you feel irritation, you have choice, you can lash out, or you can relinquish your right to be angry. By choosing patience, you are giving the other person the gift of peace. That's Abhaya Dāna, the gift of fearlessness, right there in the checkout line.
And that just reinforces that core idea we keep coming back to. The intention, the quality of your mind is so much more important than the size of the gift.
It's everything. A tiny act of kindness done with a completely pure and selfless heart is more powerful than a huge donation made for show, or with a feeling of reluctance.
So that's the final takeaway, really.
That's the heart of it. The Buddha taught that the gift given with a pure intention yields the greatest fruit. When you practice Dāna this way, you're not just helping others, you're actively weeding out the roots of your own suffering and creating the conditions for real peace in your own life.
This has been fantastic. We started with Dāna as just giving, but we've seen it's really this incredible, multi-layered spiritual technology. It's the foundation of ethics, a direct attack on attachment, and the heart of the community.
By learning to let go, you gain freedom.
It's not a loss, it's a gain. So here's something to think about. We know the Buddha taught that the gift given with a pure intention produces the greatest fruit. So how often in your own daily acts of generosity do you ever stop to really examine your intention before, during, and after, instead of just focusing on the gift itself?